This is Scott Rogers with Funkhauser Real Estate Group with another edition of my monthly market report on the Harrisonburg and Rockingham County residential real estate market. Taking a little different angle this month with my video report, we'll be taking a look through the actual report together so that we can discuss some of what we're finding in our local market at this time. Taking a look at our overall residential real estate market, we'll notice a few things. First, July was a little bit slower this year than it was in past years. There were 114 home sales in 2017 in July, and that's a slight decline from the 115 we saw last July. When we look at the year to date, however, we see that there's been a 1.39% increase to 731 home sales so far this year. So we're generally keeping pace with last year, but it is not much of an increase over where we were at this time last year. The median sales price has increased 2.41% over the past year to $195,600 in the Harrisonburg and Rockingham County real estate market. And homes are certainly selling more quickly this year, with a median days on market of 31 days as compared to 52 last year during the same time frame. If we look at this month-by-month trajectory, we'll notice a few things. First of all, typically May and June are very busy months of home sales, and this year there were 149 in May and 137 home sales in June. We did then see what is often a typical decline to 114 home sales in July of 2017. August will be interesting to watch. For 2 of the past 3 years, we've seen an increase in the number of home sales in August. And so it will be interesting to see if we're able to find that same bump in the market when we get through August of this year. Looking overall at the trajectory of the year in residential real estate in Harrisonburg and Rockingham County, you'll see again we have 731 home sales as compared to 721 thus far last year. So certainly a busier pace than in 2014 and 15, but barely keeping pace or barely keeping a little bit ahead of where we were in 2016. This is showing the long-term trends, and so you can see that there's been a steady increase in the number of homes that are selling in a 12-month period, and the median sales price as well has been stable for 12 to 24 months ago, and then for the past 12 months we've seen steady improvements. So the median sales price has increased from 185,000 to about 195,000, roughly speaking, over the past 12 months. Looking at this slightly differently in the single-family home and townhome market, so this is all residential real estate sales, you can see that we've seen steady increases in median sales price over the past 5-6 years now. So from 2011 all the way through 2017, we've seen steady increases. I'm going to flip ahead past a few other things here. This is showing us the market balance between buyers and sellers, and so over the past let's see, we're looking at 6 years here. So over the past 6 years, the green line is showing us the number of sellers that are in the market. And so fewer and fewer homes have been for sale. There's been a real sharp decline over the past year as far as the number of sellers in the market. And that's countered by, over the past 6 years, not quite as smooth, but a steady overall increase in the number of buyers buying. And so this place right here where these two trajectories cross is where there was a 6-month supply of homes for sale. And then since then, we can see that there are significantly more buyers that are buying than there are sellers that are selling. So we spent a great deal of time in an imbalance as far as the buyer's market, and we now in many ways and in many segments of the market find ourselves in a seller's market now, where there are more buyers vying for properties to buy and fewer sellers that are desiring to sell their properties. Flipping forward again, we'll take a look at contract activity. So typically, the contracts that we're seeing in any given month are going to be a good forecast for the number of sales we might see in the months that follow. And you'll see here that in July of 2017, there were 97 contracts came together, which is actually a decline from the previous year. So there were 119 contracts in July of 2016. So a bit of a decline in the pace of contract activity, and a sharp contrast to the past 4 months, or the previous 4 months. So in March, April, May, and June, we were between 130 and 140 contracts coming together per month, and that dropped off quite a bit in July. So this here is not a good indicator that we'll see a strong bounce back up in home sales activity in August. It is certainly possible, but the low number of contracts in July is not a good indicator that we will see that. Inventory levels continue to be quite a bit lower now than they have been in past years. So 418 properties on the market in Harrisonburg and Rockingham County right now, as compared to 549 a year ago, 644 2 years ago. So steady decline there. We have actually seen an uptick over the past 30 days. That's somewhat encouraging. As we went through the spring and summer market, oftentimes, like if we look back here, you'll see that last spring there was an increase, gentle increase into the spring and summer as there were more homes that were available for sale, before then declining as people were not interested in having their homes on the market during the winter. We didn't really see that this year, and a lot of that is because of the increased buyer activity. And so inventory levels were just kind of stuttering there, and a little bit higher, a little bit lower, and we did finally see an increase in July. Again, perhaps as a result of the lower contract activity. So a smaller number of buyers contracting to buy homes did not do as much to reduce those inventory levels during July as had been done in the previous 4 months of March, April, May, and June. If we flip a little bit further here, days on market. So the median days on market for homes that have sold in the past year has been 42 days. And looking a little bit closer, 44% of the homes that have sold went under contract within 30 days. So that's more than a third of the properties that sold. So that's not all properties that were listed, but over a third of the properties that sold were already under contract within 30 days of when they came on the market, which is pretty significant. Properties that are priced well and prepared well and marketed well are typically going under contract relatively quickly. Home sales by price range. I guess the biggest thing to note here is that over the past year, we've seen stability and growth in every price range. The biggest increases have been in the $300,000 to $400,000 price range, where we're seeing a 30% increase in the pace of home sales. The $300,000 to $400,000 price range. That's a 30% increase in the pace of home sales. And the $200,000 to $300,000 has also seen a steady increase over the past year. We're seeing a 19% increase there. A few other items here, inventory levels, some differences between the price ranges. So there has been an increase, a 12% increase in the number of homes that are for sale over 400,000. All other price ranges have seen declines. The largest decline, this 42% year-over-year decline in the number of homes that are for sale, is in the under 200,000 price range. So clearly prices are going up. There's fewer and fewer affordable homes under 200,000, and we're seeing that in this sharp decline in this blue line here. And that'll just about wrap us up here. This is a big picture statistic here, looking at the number of trustee sales, foreclosures in this area. What you're seeing is declining in recent years, while home sales have been increasing. And then some macroeconomic trends. Interest rates, if you haven't heard, they're still quite low. There was, let's see here, July, August, September, October. In November of this past year, there was a sharp increase in the interest rate, up above 4%. But since then, in the 7 or 8 months since then, that has drifted back down to below 4%, which is where things are hovering now. And certainly, Harrisonburg and Rockingham continue to have a very low unemployment rate as compared to many other parts of the state and the country, which is helpful from buyers being able to feel security in their job and confidence in making home buying decisions. A few other resources here, which I'll mention briefly. So certainly you can download this entire report at harrisonburghousingmarket.com. So I'll mention that one. You read all of this and get into some more of the details as to what's happening in different segments of the market. harrisonburghousingtoday.com. That is my real estate blog, where you'll find my daily musings on things happening in Harrisonburg and Rockingham County as it relates to home ownership and the market and lots of different real estate related topics. A few other websites that could be helpful. Buying a Home in Harrisonburg talks about the home buying process. Selling a home in Harrisonburg will get you started about thinking about the things that should happen if you're getting ready to list your home for sale. And we'll pick one other one. As the market has been improving, more folks are looking at potential investment properties, and HarrisonburgInvestmentProperties.com will offer you a variety of different resources to best understand the investment opportunities in this area. All right, that's it for now. Again, you can download this entire report and review it if you so choose at harrisonburghousingmarket.com. This was the August 2017 Harrisonburg and Rockingham County Real Estate Market Report. I am Scott Rogers with Funkhauser Real Estate Group. Touch base with me anytime if I can be of any help to you. Thanks so much.